Hello my loves, I'm Ellie Frost. Thank you so much for being on this channel where we are talking about the multi-dimensional approach to radically and rapidly heal and transform during and after narcissistic abuse. And this video is about narcissistic abuse and codependency, right? And let's just make this really simple. If you're liking this content, please continue to like, subscribe and share. It really does help the channel and help the message. So look, what is codependency? I'm not going to give you a textbook answer, but I'll give you a very simplified version, right? It's basically when we get our sense of identity from someone else. So people who are very codependent will often sacrifice themselves for other people. I was very codependent for many years, right? And it means that we get our sense of self-worth and our identity from how much we please others. And then when they validate us, we feel good, we feel validated. When they provide a sense of security or safety, or it's normally related to very root chakra, core needs, core survival needs, safety, validation, support, love, and survival. So, you know, codependents are the chronic people pleasers. They're the people who haven't got into a really authentic sense of self. And the way I teach authentic self is being true to who you are, which includes what you want and need. But many codependents are used to sacrificing, people pleasing. They're not even in touch with their bodies enough to know what they want and need in any moment. I talked to them many times to say that, you know, I was so out of touch with my body that I'd get the kind of signal to use the restroom and pee right before I needed to go. My wants and needs, I'd been trained for many years, didn't matter. So my whole life was about pleasing narcissists and staying safe, because safety to me meant giving them what they want. Right? So codependency and narcissistic abuse, there are narcissists will target anyone for different reasons. I've gone through that on the channel before, but I mean, codependents, they'll target, some things make you an easier target. People who identify as an empath, highly sensitives, empaths, with people who can have a lot of compassion for people because we can understand where they might be coming from. We give them the benefit of the doubt automatically because we try and understand why they're behaving the way they are, rather than having our own back first and being self-partnered and deciding what behavior we will and will not accept. Because we have compassion for someone, right, and the ability to forgive them, we think that means that we have to accept the behavior. It doesn't. You can forgive someone and have compassion for them. You can understand completely where they're coming from and why they are the way they are, and still it's very important to have your own standards, values and boundaries intact. So codependency is when it's almost like we haven't fully grown up, right? We make other people responsible for ourselves and our emotional state. Yeah, we want to be rescued. Yeah, we've kind of, and you know, please don't beat yourself up, because we kind of sold this in society, you know. We're kind of sold the fact that, you know, we get rescued, and I don't know, if you're a woman, some Prince Charming comes and takes you out of a bad situation. And for men, you know, a woman comes and heals all your pain, or whatever it is, right? We kind of sold it in a fairy tale kind of way in society, for both men and women, mainly for women though. But men also, yeah, my other half, this person completes me. I couldn't get my purpose in life, masculine, you know. And it's a really hard topic for me to talk about, because I truly believe feminine and masculine energy together is the most powerful on the planet. If you have a partner who has shared values and a shared vision with you, which is the most important thing in relationship, in intimate relationship, right, then you do kind of complete each other in a way, because you can be the ultimate powerhouse, you know, big time, right? But when you're codependent, you're making someone responsible for your wants, needs, desires, dreams, and it's in an unhealthy way. When you're codependent, you can't feel good unless they make you feel good. You're not taking responsibility. You're not growing up in your adulthood to be self-partnered and self-parenting. You're kind of still looking for a parent role, right? So it's unhealthy. How do we know when it gets unhealthy, right? When we can't self-source, right? when I am unregulated, unless you give me validation, when I am unregulated and I can't see the truth of the matter without you giving me praise, you giving me love, you giving me a sense of security, when I can't self-source those things for myself, when I'm a source to self, again, something that I'm very big on teaching in Sovereign, then I'm my own source of survival, security, love, validation, support, right? And what you give me is a bonus. It's not to say that receiving love and people who enhance your sense of security, safety, validation, and love in the world isn't absolutely awesome. It's wonderful, but it's a bonus. It's an addition. It's not something lacking in me. That's the biggest distinction I want to make. So when we haven't learned, and if you want to learn, come into Sovereign, how to be our own source to self of survival, love, approval, security, support, validation, yeah, we're empty if the person that we've made responsible for, which in a narcissistic relationship will be the narcissist, doesn't give it to us. And hello trauma bond, hello emotional roller coaster, hello, like often in narcissistic relationships, hell on earth, right? Because what they'll do is they'll dangle the carrot, the illusion of providing those things, and they'll rip the rug from under your feet over and over again. Yeah, I've had narcissists make me homeless. I've had narcissists ostracize me from my family. I've had narcissists, I'm sure a lot of you have had a lot of these stories, do all sorts of absolutely terrible things, right? After dangling the carrot and pretending to be the source of something that clearly I had to self-generate at another level. And I think as a teacher, I have to do it at a higher level to be able to lead. So like, you know, it's human nature. Like we're born codependent. Babies need their parents, right? So they're born to attach to certain people to provide those needs. But as we get into adulthood, we have no kind of like rite of passage, no initiation. If we've grown up in very toxic relationships and toxic situations and families, then we're used to not being responsible for ourselves and expecting others to take responsibility. And we're an easier target for narcissists, right? But like, and as I said before, like there's lots of people in very codependent relationships that are actually not totally unhealthy, and they're not with narcissists, people who will actually tear them apart over it. They're just working through that together. Like maybe they're going to therapy. There's a lot of people trying to heal codependency, and they're not in serious, dangerous situations with destructive narcissists. But if you are codependent, if you are an empath, if you are a people pleaser, if you are more vulnerable in some way because of like a difficult childhood, that kind of stuff, you're just easier prey. Narcissists will target anyone. Like I've told you before, they'll target really successful people. I was targeted at times when I was very independent and very successful, and when I was very weak and vulnerable, because like some narcissists will see it as a prize to bring you down when you're at your best, and at other times they'll just take the easiest prey. Imagine like a predator in the forest, in the jungle, like a animal, you know, like a predator in the jungle, that, you know, they could run, I don't know, however many kilometers to find a bigger animal, but when there's some easy prey at their feet, they're going to take that first, right? And narcissists do not tend to have one source of supply, they tend to have many. So you're just an easier prey if you've got certain wounds and certain things that are unhealed in you, right? They'll target, they're predators, they'll target everyone, right, for different reasons, but we're easier prey when we're codependent. So healing codependency is forming our own identity, is coming into what I call authentic power, being true to who we are and what we want to need. If you want to know more about that, please message me. I've got so much coming up. But for a lot of us that have been codependent for most of our lives, we don't know what we want to need a lot of the time, or we don't care, actually. We don't even have the respect for ourselves to care, because, and I've spoken on another video about this, where I used to say, like, I don't mind, like, we'll go wherever you want for dinner, we'll do whatever you want, right? I just didn't know what I wanted. I hadn't come into my sense of self enough, right? And it certainly wasn't important enough, right, for me to even try and voice an opinion. But as I did this work, and as I healed myself, and as I self-actualized more, like now I do know what I want and need. Does that mean I'll never compromise? No. You know, I could say, okay, we'll go here, we'll go to the restaurant you want tonight, and then next week let's go here. But I don't brush my wants and needs aside. I realize that Ellie has to matter, right, in this whole equation, and she exists. Remember, I tell you, the two subconscious programs that narcissist is subliminally planting in your brain is that you don't matter, and as you're in your own right and identity, you don't exist. We've got to banish that here. You can just set the attention. I'm doing that with the energy with you now. Thank you so much for being here. As I say, please keep liking, subscribing and sharing and telling me what you want more of. Lots of love, and I'll speak to you soon.